One of the most dangerous flashpoints in the world today is the Taiwan Straits. Anytime China could launch a sudden invasion or any smaller operation to try and seize Taiwan by force, and it could well result in a third world war, kind of a global conflict. So, what exactly is the importance of Taiwan? Let's take our minds back historically. When the civil war took place between the Kuomintang and the Chinese communists in China, the final phases were after the Second World War, after the Japanese had lost the war. Then there was a massive, large scale fighting there, and ultimately the nationalists were driven off to the island of Formosa. The nationalists under Chiang Kai-shek, Marshal Chiang Kai-shek, they all took refuge in Formosa, which is 80 kilometers to 90 kilometers off the coast of China proper. And therefore, China has been very set on trying to integrate this area. This has now become a democratic republic. It's no longer a military dictatorship of Chiang Kai-shek. It is a very democratic republic which has come, and the critical importance of Taiwan today is the semiconductor industry. It supplies almost half the world's semiconductors, and advanced semiconductors with very little difference of 3 to 5 microns between their various chips, etc. And the very dense packing of very advanced chips, these are developed in Taiwan. And if China captures Taiwan, not only does it sort of reunify, as it claims, the motherland, it also reunifies the motherland, it also gets this economic advantage. The most major strategic advantage of Taiwan, if China occupies Taiwan, it can break out and dominate the whole Western Pacific. It can hit out towards Japan, it can hit out towards South China Sea, it can hit out towards the second chain of islands. So, Taiwan has got a tremendous amount of strategic importance. And as long as Taiwan is not under China's control, the reverse is equally true. China cannot break out into the Western Pacific ocean reaches unless it has secured Taiwan. Taiwan is like a huge unsinkable aircraft carrier, which keeps posing a threat to the Chinese mainland proper. So, what is likely to happen there, and what are China's options? Most experts, military experts, are now warning that the decade from 2020 to 2030 is the most dangerous decade as far as any projected Chinese assault on Taiwan is concerned. The Chinese have been carrying out massive and very single-minded preparations to try and capture Taiwan. The simple fact is that the Chinese Navy today outnumbers the American Navy in the total number of ships, 380 warships. They have very specifically catered to prevent any American intervention, through area denial or, access, anti-access strategies. They have tried to see that America should not be able to intervene successfully in any war that China may launch to capture Taiwan. The primary anti-access strategy is based upon knocking out the American aircraft carrier battle groups. As soon as a crisis with Taiwan develops, the standard American response is to sail forward their carrier battle groups. So, the Chinese developed the Dongfeng 21D missiles of 3000 kilometers range, which could be used to strike these aircraft carriers, and they will not just fire them in single salvos, in single one or two, but they will fire them in salvos to destroy the American aircraft carrier battle groups. And this in itself poses such a major threat to the American carrier battle groups that they may well be forced to stay on the other side of the second chain of island, which starts from Guam, Philippines and all that line. So, the effectiveness of American intervention in such a scenario would become very highly questionable. There are lots of advantages that China has. You see, China has the advantage of what is called interior lines. All said and done, Taiwan is just 80 kilometers from the Chinese mainland. And how much time will it really take the Chinese ships, the flotilla of boats, small boats which can come across, followed by the big amphibious carriers, troop carriers which can come across, in a final assault upon Taiwan. It is just 80 kilometers. 40 Chinese air bases are within range of Taiwan. So, Taiwan can be struck very heavily by the Chinese missiles, by the Chinese Air Force, by the Chinese Navy in a joint fire strike kind of a thing, devastating fire strike with which they can start the operations. The American air bases are only available in, the near air bases are in Japan, that is Okinawa and Yokohama, and the other air bases are in the Guam. Guam is the largest air base where they have stocked up about 96 million liters of, of petrol, and they've got a whole lot of aircraft, F-20, F-35 stealth aircraft which can operate from there. The B-52 bombers can operate from there, B-1, B-2 bombers can operate from there and strike the Chinese mainland or strike any Chinese armada which is crossing. The next, the Americans, what they can do is they have their submarines. They have a huge submarine fleet, and they are trying to add to that submarine fleet by giving 8 nuclear submarines to China, which will be able to operate in times of war and get into the Taiwan Strait and destroy the Chinese shipping, at least sink 40% of the Chinese shipping which is attacking the Taiwan Straits. They can also enforce a blockade of China by just mining their harbors and keeping their submarines off the major ports of China. They can cause a lot of economic damage to China. So, these are the various options. What shape could such a war take? Military experts are saying that there are 3 kinds of scenarios that could emerge. The number 1 scenario is that China nibbles away at the Taiwanese military strength. For example, they do what they have been doing in the last 2 weeks. 150 aircraft sorties they have sent, of their J-16, J-10, J-11 fighters, fighter bombers, their Hong 6 bombers, their airborne warning and control aircraft. About 150 of them they have sent into the air identification zone. They fly around the Taiwan island, and every time they test the defenses of the island. They force the Taiwanese Air Force to rise and scramble with weapon load, everything, and every time they do it, they are reducing the lifespan of that aircraft. Very soon they will have to get new aircraft, and China can keep it up, but how long can Taiwan keep it up? So, that is one thing. Then these are options short of war. Then they can do what is called cyber warfare attacks, electronic warfare attacks, and then they could also go in for a blockade of Taiwan. But the disadvantage with the blockade is it gives a lot of time for the others to prepare, and they can also challenge the blockade. They, like I said, the American submarines, the American aircraft can then challenge this blockade, and they get adequate time to sort of move and do things to scuttle the Chinese plans. The second option is what could be called the Russian Crimea style operation, by which Russia took over the whole of the Crimean Peninsula, which was just next to it. So, there are a number of islands of Taiwan which are very close to the Chinese mainland. One is the Pargu island, the Kinmen island is just 2 kilometers from the Chinese coast. So, as a preliminary operation, as a kind of a demonstration against Taiwan, China could easily capture these islands. But the point then is, thereafter what? China would have, even if it has grabbed these islands, will that cause Taiwan to collapse? I don't think so. I am not very certain that Taiwan will just collapse because a few outlying islands have gone. Taiwan has also made plans to counter such moves, but even if they lose a few islands, the main island of Taiwan is still about 80 to 90 kilometers and would still require a major invasion, and the world would have been alerted, and America would have adequate time to build up opinion against the Chinese and for their attack or their so-called aggression, and they could stymie this option. So the third option is a direct all-out attack to capture Taiwan. What most military experts are saying is that the chances of this kind of an all-out attack are now on the rise, especially after Joe Biden has shown such a lot of incompetence and cowardice in Afghanistan. The Chinese seem to be sensing that there is a window of opportunity for them to suddenly attack and take Taiwan, because they seem to be now questioning the will of the American people. If America could not stand up to the Taiwan, how is it likely to stand up to the People's Republic Army of China? If they sort of gave up there, and the kind of disgraceful way in which that withdrawal was conducted was quite a spectacle, which has really eroded American credibility all over the world. So China could maybe emboldened because of that to try and test Joe Biden, whom they feel is not strong enough or is not aggressive enough to try and stand up to an operation like this, and he may not, if push comes to shove, really come to the help of Taiwan, especially if it involves huge costs to the United States of America. They could do it at the time of the elections, when let us say, just like the elections that we saw, that if it is a very sharply polarized election and people are going to court and no verdict, clear-cut verdict has come, then they could take advantage of that kind of a scenario and attack and try and do a coup de main operation, that means finish it off before the world can react. So what would this look like, an all-out invasion option? Firstly, most experts feel that the Chinese are now very well prepared, much better prepared than they were in 1995, when they had to back down when America sent in the aircraft carrier battle groups. 5 of aircraft carrier battle groups America had sent, and that was enough to make China back down. But now they have thought things through. They have the Dongfeng 21D intermediate range ballistic missiles to try and take out the aircraft carriers. They have much shorter range missiles. They have supersonic cruise missiles, with the help of which they can take out American battleships as they come close and put a major serious threat to the American battle fleets. So what would this kind of a attack scenario involve? I think it would start with a joint firepower strike against the main Taiwan defenses. They would attack all airports, they would attack all ports, they would attack all major defense installations with salvos of missile strikes, 5, 4, 5, 6, 10 missiles on each important target in Taiwan. Now, which could crater the airfields, destroy the ports, which could disrupt communications, coupled with electronic warfare and cyber warfare attacks on the Chinese by the Chinese, and then their PLA Air Force would try and seize control, take air superiority over the island and try and take out any Taiwanese fighter that rises to challenge them. And this is precisely the kind of scenario they have been practicing for. It could be costly, but they could wreak a lot of havoc, ultimately overwhelm the Taiwanese defenses. Then they could launch the attacks with their special forces, heliborne special forces, which would land behind first, cut off the reaction, cut off the beaches, and then in their small boats, swarms of small boats, they could come across the 80 kilometers. It won't take them very long to come across that. They could land on the beaches, hold the beaches, and then their bigger ships, troop ships, their amphibious warfare ships would come in, and they would try and seize control of a port or major ports, or try and enlarge the bridgeheads, and then the main invasion force would come in and try and capture the island. The whole essence would be on speed. Now, can the Chinese do it? Well, their capabilities have become much, much better. They have a single point focus. They have been practicing only for this for years and years. They have been practicing, thinking of this kind of a plan of attack. They have studied the Normandy landings, they have studied the Falklands War, and they are steadily increasing their capability to carry out the third option. Will they risk it? It is a very high risk option, because don't forget the fact that all this is being done against a nuclear backdrop. Both China and the United States are nuclear powers, and should one side get into great trouble or start losing face very badly, then it could easily escalate into a nuclear exchange. And a nuclear exchange over the sea is far easier than it is over land, where it can cause lots of collateral damage. But over the wide open Pacific, a nuclear exchange could well take place. Limited tactical nuclear exchanges could quite happen. So, highly dangerous but possible, and the most dangerous decade for this is from 2020 to 2030. This is the most dangerous period in which they could happen, and it could happen any time after 2025, when the Chinese would be fully ready, to launch a major amphibious assault across the Taiwan Straits. What would be the American options? The American options, one would be to rush their aircraft carrier battle groups and attack the shipping, the Chinese shipping, 5, 10, 20,000 ships that are coming for this invasion force, attack them from the air through their cruise missiles. They could put a number of cruise missiles and other long range missiles on the second chain of islands, on the first chain of islands, and their air force could come in. If there is risk to their aircraft carrier battle groups, they may have to stay the other side of of the second chain of islands. But definitely their bombers from Guam, from bases in Japan, would be critical to this kind of a fight, to this kind of a scenario. Bases in Singapore, bases in Australia, from where their long range bombers with cruise missiles could take off and contest. Their submarines would make a swarm for the Taiwan Straits and try and do maximum losses. At least 40% plus of the Chinese fleet could be destroyed by American submarines which intervene. And the American, after they have wrested control of the skies, if they feel they have the cover, and then they could send in their aircraft carrier battle groups also. What America could do is, it could do a blockade thereafter of the Chinese ports, using its submarines, mine the entrances of the various harbors, and blockade the entire Chinese coast, which is a feasible option. So, it is a high risk scenario, and how this will unfold depends a lot on chance factors like sudden political instability in the United States, next election period, or any other period in between. China could suddenly take advantage. China is certainly preparing itself for this kind of a scenario, and it is, like I said, one of the hottest hotspots in the world, where against a nuclear backdrop, a very major conflict could erupt, and erupt very suddenly and without warning.